Hi guys, my name's Niko. I sing and play guitar in a band called Now in Colour, and this is what I've been up to this week. So there's actually been heaps on recently, actually. We've finally started recording some live bass, which is great, because I just use terrible synth bass in my guide tracks that I make, I guess, and it just really does not cut it in some cases. One of the biggest things is that you can't slide around on the neck like you do on a normal bass, because it's synth, it's just boop, 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 boop. But I'll show you a bit of that later. But the other big thing that I'm keen to tell you about is that I have a gig on, I guess. It sounds weird, a musician being like, I have a gig. No, I'm playing a little acoustic show, and it's actually the first public show that I'll play as Niko, I guess, which again sounds kind of weird because my record came out like a year ago now, or a bit less than a year ago, like 11 months ago. But yeah, it's on the 16th of July, 2018, if you're watching this a long time in the future, or in the past somehow. It's on the 16th of July, which is a Monday night at 9 p.m, which is not ideal, given that a lot of my friends work full-time and need to go to work on the Tuesday morning. But anyway, it's at the Record Crate in Glebe in Sydney in Australia. So if you happen to be within, some radius of that area on Monday the 16th at 9 p.m, I would love to see you. I would love to say hello if you come and listen to me play. But otherwise, if you're just out there in YouTube land, you're too far away, what I will do is I'm going to try and actually play the whole gig in the same way that I played my album launch gig, which is up on YouTube. I'm going to basically route my acoustic guitar and my vocal mic through my computer, which I'm going to bring to the gig, and then I'm going to record the whole set and hopefully get it filmed as well, and then I'll just chop the stuff off the end and I'll upload it to YouTube. So even if you're not there, you should hopefully be able to get the whole gig. Don't hold me to it, but I'm going to really try and get a full, recorded, decently filmed version. I could even get 2 people to bring cameras and then have a multi-angle thing, but, I'm probably getting a little ahead of myself. So yeah, that's really exciting. In terms of the recording, as I said, we've started doing some live bass, and the 5th track on the record, the Hourglass, is really coming together. I've started recording guitars as well, electric guitars for it, and I've been taking a lot of inspiration from J-rock bands, essentially, J-rock bands that I like for this particular sound of this song. There's a kind of sound that I'm going for that I don't want to say it's like an anime opening theme, but it kind of is in a way. There are a lot of J-rock bands that I really love, and some of them, honestly, I found out because they had the opening track or the closing theme to an anime that I liked. But the one that I am trying to, or not replicate, but the one that I'm taking inspiration for the production style from is a song called By My Side by a Japanese band called Hemingway. I think they've actually broken up since then. But this song was the closing theme for one of the later seasons, I believe, of the Shippuden side of Naruto. So I'm not sure which end of Naruto it was on, earlier or later. It turned into this other thing called Shippuden later on. But yeah, so anyway, regardless, the theme is from Naruto, basically. It's a closing credits theme, and the chorus goes... Oh, well, you've got to hear this opening riff. It's... So I love that style of rock music. It's just like, especially when the chords and the melodies are like nostalgic and sort of a little bit sad, but also like uplifting. I love that kind of stuff. So this is what I'm trying to go for with the Hourglass. I'm just gesturing so hard today, I just hit myself in the face. So the chorus in this song. It's great. Yeah, so I'm not trying to copy that song, but something that people will often tell you, what producers will tell you, is that they want you to have what's called a reference track, which is basically like the idea that you'll have a track that you want to use that doesn't necessarily sound the same or even the same genre as your song, but a goal that you want to get to from a production perspective, the kind of sound that you want overall, and then you keep listening back to your reference track and you try and mix in a way to aim to sound like that, or sound like certain characteristics of that. So anyway, I've got some guitars that I've done for the lead up to the chorus in the Hourglass, and it's just kind of like a demo. But anyway, have a listen and you'll get an idea of what I'm talking about. Kind of Foo Fighters-esque. And then we've got this big lead guitar riff thing here. About the house next door, and this part isn't produced. You get the idea. On a postcard, I wanna run yeah, so that song's kind of coming together. I've got everything everywhere that I want to go with it in my head. But this might be another thing that I might just flip the camera around so you can see the screen. So basically this is an incredibly common way to record guitars these days in modern rock music. Essentially, the way that stereo works is that, you know, you have different stuff in each ear, right? You have different music that goes into your left ear and your right ear. Essentially, I mean, there's other complexities to it, but that's kind of like the main gist. Anyway, so what we tend to do is that we record a double of both guitars. So if I just solo one of these, the top one, and we'll turn off the input monitoring. So this guy. Nothing particularly special, but yeah, that's the guitar part. Anyway, we'll have a second guitar part here, right, which is exactly the same as the other one. I've just recorded it again. So essentially the reason that we do this is that if you have then two guitars playing at the same time, panned to the left and to the right, so you've got two different sounds in each ear, and even though it's playing the same thing, the two takes are slightly different from each other, so it ends up just making it sound, in inverted commas, bigger, I guess. And then we basically did this. I did the same thing with the rhythm guitar, which is a much lower part. And I panned those rhythm guitars even further out to each side. So it kind of, in your headphones, it sounds like these two lead guitars are sort of closer to the middle, and these two rhythm guitars are further out to each side. And yeah, it just ends up giving you like this big sound. And the reason that I've just chopped these up is so that I can get kind of really clean transitions here, because there are, it's quite easy to play this guitar part by itself, but the problem is you end up with like a split second of silence or noise as you're moving your hand around from position to position, which is why these are all divided up into little bits like that. Yeah, so then when you play that with the rest of the stuff, you get a really big sound. You get have the bass right in the center, and then the guitars out on each side, and it sounds like this. So yeah, I think it sounds pretty good. So I finally managed to really well and truly smash my phone. I've dropped it like 50 times over the last few years, at least 50 times probably, but this time, yeah, I'm not even game enough to even use it until I get the screen fixed, because there were little shards of glass coming out in my finger. And now what you've all been waiting for, it's the massive spreadsheet with all the progress on what we've been working on. If you followed the kind of videos as I was making my solo album, Even in Dreams, you'll know that I had, let me just change it here, an even bigger spreadsheet for that one that ended up getting completely done, which is good. It was really satisfying filling in all the green squares, but obviously with the Now in Color record, we're back to a lot of yellow and red. Obviously, this is not final, the track order, but also I expect we'll probably have 8 or 9 tracks depending on how these last two go, how long they end up being, because we're at about 26 minutes now, and I'd like the album to be at least 45. Yeah, anyway, it's cool to kind of see the progress in front of you, and it means that week by week you'll be able to see what we're actually doing. Oh, also, this is publicly viewable, so if you want to look at the spreadsheet at any point for some weird reason and, you know, figure out what we're up to, you can view the link that'll be in the description of this video, and you should be able to see the sheet. See you later, guys!